Hello, everybody. Wow, what a day. March 22nd, FOMC meeting. We were supposedly expecting a plus quarter point rate hike. That's what we got. We got a quarter point rate hike. So let's see what happens during rate hikes or when they lower or raise interest rates, right? Usually the market goes whipsawing. It goes up and down right away. The futures fly up, then they fly down. So you have to be ready. Where am I going to catch my trade? Let me show you how simple it is. Where are you going to catch your trades? So usually when things whipsaw, you want to move from a 5-minute graph to a 60-minute graph to a daily graph to a weekly graph to a monthly graph, and then you get a bigger picture. How high can these things fly up? And that's where you find those points where the rubber band is a little extended too much, and then it's got to snap back down, or it's extended down too much, it's got to snap back up. Check this out. So the first thing I'm going to show you the cues. You remember I showed you that we had in previous videos bull flags on a 60-minute graph. Here's a 60-minute graph. You're looking at it, it's uploading, right? I had this bull flag a few days ago, and then we flew out of it. Look at that. We had another bull flag, right? And we blew past that. We're going back up. Oh, look, 314 already. This is getting a little too extended. So I know the FOMC meeting is coming up. You know the FOMC meeting is coming up. I go to the daily graph, and lo and behold, what do I have my daily graph? I have a bear flag, right? Here's your pole. Just get rid of this one. We don't need this one anymore. Here's your pole. You got it right here, pretty much coming down. And then we have two ranges. This is the upper range, and this is the lower range in the tunnel. And that's the tunnel we're trading in, right? And the beauty of it is the extension comes all the way up to 3 right around here. You could use this as a resistance. This high day right here can be used as a resistance. We're looking at 313.68, more or less. That should be your entry, more or less. Obviously, we're in a range from 285 to 316. We did it in a few days, right? Jump in there, because when the Fed announces that they're going to interest a quarter point base cut, and that's quarter point rate hike, and that's what everyone's expecting, and the stock is just, futures is flying up, that's just market makers trying to take your money. Unless there is real, fundamental news to move things up, then that's just them extending the range, and the range goes all the way up to 3. What was it? I think we went all the way up to 315.25. That's almost $1.50 above where you got in your resistance level. So you got to take that into consideration. Money management. When you're trading, whipsawing, things that are flying up and down, you got to take a smaller position, a bigger stop loss. And that's the place to get in. I spoke about that, showed this to you guys, and look at that. Lo and behold, boom, 309. This is the range. Usually when you trade at resistance, you get a little bit, your stop loss doesn't have to be, you don't have to take a lot of risk, because when you're buying a breakthrough, when something's breaking through resistance and you're buying that is really, really hard. That, stock really has something significant has to happen in order for something like that to just keep running. So you want to play the ranges. It's the safest bet. And look at that, 310. Same thing on the SPY. Look at the SPY on a 60-minute graph, so you got to, yesterday we were right around 396, right? Today we're at 402. If you're extending this range, look at this bull flag over here, right? On a 60-minute graph, and you're looking at it, you pretty much, you hit resistance today. This is pretty much it, right? Your two resistance areas, because technically there is one line and there's another line right here. Okay, I'm going to extend it all the way on the extensions that I've got. This is pretty much it, right? It doesn't get more than that right here. Resistance, boom. It's a resistance level. It did go a little bit above the last high, right? And it just comes right in. Look at it now on a daily graph. So that was a trade if you trade SPY. I pretty much looked at the cues, but look at a daily graph. What's the problem here on a daily graph? You have a bear flag, right? And you're playing the range. Same thing like cues, but we didn't reach anywhere on the 418 level. This is on the cues. We reached that area, right here. on the daily graph where we were entering a level of resistance. On the SPY, we didn't do that, so I didn't really want to take that trade. I should have, but sometimes you can't just, my head was everywhere. Where was my head? My head was in two other places. Look at this, KRE. This was my head. What happens? Sorry, the graphs went a little crazy. Where's my KRE graph? Is this it? What's going on here? There she is, KRE, right? You're still seeing this. And when the Qs went up, the KRE didn't want to go up. I've been talking to you guys about this area, 45.50, this 45.50 area. And today we traded right around this 45.50 all day, right? I mean, towards the before the rate hike, pretty much. And we went up a little bit to 45.85 and so on. And we are not going up. Look at this. We were out of this triangle. We were supposed to go up today. We were out of it. There's too much pressure on this banking industry, on this banking sector. I am sticking to this sentiment that you have to look for the shorts as opposed to the longs for now, even though they're telling you on CNBC that this is over with and we might be going up. They might be right. These analysts, are a lot smarter than I am. But as long as the trend doesn't show me that, I am playing the short side. 45.50 is that area for today. We mentioned it a couple days ago. I mentioned it for the last few days, 45.50. And now what are we doing? Now we're pretty much in an area of support. You should be taking profits right around here. One more graph I'm going to show you. Here we are with the SMH. This is pretty interesting. I showed you guys that we had an inverted head and shoulders, left shoulder, right shoulder, head, and the trend line, the neckline. And we broke that neckline to the top side. Right, it was somewhere in the area of 255.64. Here we are on a 5-minute graph, 255.64, and yesterday we flew all the way up to 257, 10 more, 30, something like that, right? 257. What is it? 257.40. What happened today? We hit 257, boom, we're falling. 257.40, falling for a whole entire dollar. Go back up to 257.20, whatever it was, boom, falling down another $1.50. Then we're back up to the 257, boom, you got to stop down. So you kind of made money twice at yesterday's high. Remember, the highs and the lows are significant areas. The open and the closes are also. And so you took two profits, and you could have taken a small loss over here today, somewhere around 50-something cents if you would have figured out. Would I have went long at 257? I should have, could have, but this is a dangerous time right now. So, on days like today, I kind of try and watch out. You got to know what your days are, where you're going in, where you're not going in. Overall, I do believe that we are trying to support this area, this 255.50. That's the significant area that we were talking about, 255.60. That if this turns into a support, and so far has been, this came back down all the way to 260, it went up to 260 something, 261 almost, came back down to this 255.50 area, kind of supported it, and we're kind of trading 250, 630 right now. So we're going to see how this plays out. I hope this is not a fake out, because it could be a fake out. And we're going to let the days tell us what's going on. In the rest of this sector, what am I looking at? Same thing. Looking at all these stocks that tried to go up, but they weren't able to go up that much in this banking sector. So I'm still, if I'm going to short them, I'm going to short them just in options, because that's the safe bet. Remember, all this is just teaching you what's going on. I'm not advising you in any way. Keep an eye on what's going on with this banking KRE index, and let's see how the Qs and the SPY play out. Wishing you guys a great day. Hope you made some money, or hope you learned something. And we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.